Hey, it's Rachel Cooke, your modern mentor. I'm the founder of Lead Above Noise, where we help teams work better by design. We deliver the tools and frameworks to help ensure work is productive, profitable, and energizing for the human spirit. I would love to come speak at your next event or offsite to deliver the clarity, confidence, and tools your leaders need to bring this shift to life. Reach out today at leadabovenoise.com/connect. So, would you like a peek into the reality that seems to be triggering about 80% of the conversations I'm having with clients right now? It sounds something like this. Our teams are not moving as fast as we need them to, and we don't understand why or how to solve the problem. Does this feel at all like your workplace? Everyone's pushing for more speed. Do more with less. Move faster. Ship it yesterday. People are breaking down. Deadlines are being missed. Balls are getting dropped. And teams are feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place. They can't afford to slow down because the pressure is relentless. And they can't afford not to because they're burning out. They're making mistakes, having to redo work, and they're losing trust in leadership. The problem isn't the desire for speed. The problem is we're chasing speed without the structure that makes it possible. Like, have you ever watched a professional basketball game? It looks effortless. Everyone's moving, no one's hesitating, pure speed and agility. But what we don't see, it's all the countless hours spent on the most boring drills ever to build the fundamental skills. It's the whiteboards made up with all of the highly choreographed plays and the time spent clarifying every single player's role on the court. We think we're watching instinct, but really we're watching structure moving fast. In the workplace, we're doing the opposite. We're demanding speed without building the foundation. We're asking for agility, but we're witnessing chaos. People sit in meetings debating the approach because the desired outcome was never made clear. A VP says yes on Tuesday, the SVP says no on Thursday, and nobody is quite sure whose answer counts. Someone asks for clarity and gets vague direction back. This is not agility. This is panic with better marketing. Truly agile organizations are agile not because they move fast, but because they move on a solid foundation of really boring stuff. They've done the tedious work of defining roles and processes and operating rhythms. They have established how decisions get made. So when the moment demands speed, people know how to move fast instead of stopping to negotiate the basics. So what do you do if you're in an organization chasing speed without structure? You use your vantage point in your voice wisely. You can see things senior leaders can't. You see where direction contradicts itself. You see where misalignment at the top cascades into chaos on your team. You see all the urgent things that can't all possibly be equally urgent. Your job isn't to complain about it or refuse to move forward, but it is to be a strategic thinker, a protector of organizational energy and resources, to surface what you're seeing so leaders can actually set you up for success. And here are a few ways you can do that. First, show leaders what they're just thinking out loud actually triggers. Senior leaders brainstorm in meetings. They toss out ideas. They wonder out loud. And they don't always realize that these musings just became directives 3 levels down. But you see it happen downstream. So tell them, hey, in that meeting on Monday, somebody wondered out loud about a partnership with X. By Tuesday afternoon, 3 teams had pulled people off of their current work to start building pitch decks. And I just want to confirm, is this actually a priority we're pursuing, or was that just exploratory thinking? You're not tattling, you're showing leaders how their casual comment can cascade into real resource allocation. I swear, they so often don't realize they're even triggering this. Next, show leaders how their misalignment multiplied. 2 leaders have slightly different views on a priority. From their vantage point, it's a minor difference, a 5-degree gap. By the time it reaches your team, it is a 90-degree split. People are getting contradictory direction, and out come the claws. So call it out with care. Ask your leader, hey, the CMO said to prioritize speed, but the head of product said don't ship it until it's polished. These are feeling a little bit in conflict. We go too fast, we lose quality. We wait for perfection, we slow down. How do we find the compromise? Can you help us understand which actually takes precedence? Don't guess. Just ask. And if your leader isn't sure, wait for them to find the clarity. Next, show leaders what their priority shift actually broke. Leaders shift priorities all the time. And sometimes it's necessary, but they don't always see the downstream impacts. 3 months of work gets abandoned. Commitments to customers get broken. People who believed in the original priority feel like their work didn't matter. And you see the damage that leaders don't. So make it visible. Say, hey, we've spent 4 months on the mobile redesign. Customers are expecting it. The team is 2 weeks from launch. When we pivot to this new initiative instead, what should we tell customers? And what should we tell the team about why we're walking away from something we said mattered? You're not resisting the pivot. You're showing leaders the downstream cost so they can decide if it's worth it and even help contain it. And finally, show leaders when missing operating rhythms are creating chaos. Leaders don't have regular cadences for decisions and alignment, so everything happens ad hoc. Every question becomes urgent. Every Slack message or emergency meeting. Leaders don't have regular cadences for decisions and alignment, so everything becomes ad hoc. Every question becomes an urgent Slack message or emergency meeting, and nothing feels predictable. You see the chaos this creates. Leaders don't always realize the lack of rhythm is the problem. So show them. We don't have a regular cadence for prioritization decisions, so every time something new comes up, we're scrambling to find time on calendars to get alignment. If we had a weekly 30-minute prioritization check-in, we could make those calls in real time instead of making everything feel like a fire drill. The lack of rhythm is making everything urgent. You're showing them that setting up a regular operating rhythm could eliminate the constant urgency. So these are my ways of making the invisible visible. Are they sometimes easier said than done? Heck yes. But do they serve both the work product and your humanity? Heck yes. And they are worth experimenting with. Speed without structure just doesn't work. You have information leaders need to build that structure. So give it to them. I'd love to come speak at your next event or offsite about how you can bring these ideas to life. Reach out anytime at leadabovenoise.com/connect. You can follow Modern Mentor on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Find and follow me on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening and have a successful week. Modern Mentor is a quick and dirty tips podcast. Thanks to the QDT team. Audio engineer Dan Feyerabend. Director of podcasts Holly Hutchings. Ad operations specialist Morgan Christensen. Marketing manager Rebecca Sebastian. Podcast associate Maram Engelheeb. And our marketing contractor Nat Hoops.